After suffering a historical defeat in the Iowa caucus, Ron DeSantis is quietly starting to build his off-ramp from the 2024 election. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today it is time that we talk about the 2024 Republican presidential primary. Now, as most of you know, the Ron DeSantis campaign has been a complete and total failure. That's an understatement, really. This campaign has been a joke from the get-go. Whether it was the bizarre launch event on Twitter, which, why launch your entire campaign on Twitter? I don't know. To the bizarre messaging about, wokeness and Florida and all of that. To the Homelander allegations. To the grand conspiracy that secretly Ron DeSantis was leading in Iowa and that the polling is all fake. Well, it's been a joke. But it seems like that the Ron DeSantis campaign, or at least DeSantis himself, has seen the writing on the wall and realized it's over. No amount of coping can deny what happened in Iowa was a total failure. And it seems like the campaign is preparing an off-ramp from this disaster and preparing for 2028 already. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Now, let's be 100% clear. I am not saying that, Ron DeSantis is going to drop out tomorrow or anything like that. But when you see what his campaign has been doing for the past week, it really looks like a campaign that's about to shut their doors and that's preparing for 2028. Which I know it's crazy, but that's what it's looking like. So let's get into it. After a humbling loss in Iowa, Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida is starting to signal that he's building an off-ramp from the race for the Republican presidential nomination, a seeming acknowledgement of his dim prospects of defeating Trump given his poll numbers in New Hampshire and South Carolina. Boy, his poll numbers, they're not just bad. They are historically bad. I mean, he's at 5% in New Hampshire, 7% in South Carolina. I mean, South Carolina's winner take all. So Trump's going to get every single delegate no matter what. And in New Hampshire, he doesn't even qualify for delegates. You need 10% of the vote. And that's the problem. If he doesn't get 10%, he gets nothing. So far this week, Mr. DeSantis has cast his eyes forward to 2028 with anecdotes about Trump supporters saying they would vote for him next time around if he runs again in 4 years. He has conceded that Mr. Trump's thumping victory in Iowa on Monday made for a good showing in terms of him winning the nomination, and he has openly admitted that he believes he made a strategic mistake by icing out traditional media earlier this campaign. Well, that's an understatement. Trump crushed DeSantis by a historical margin. A 30-point defeat for DeSantis. It all amounted to a kind of frankness that Mr. DeSantis has not always shown in his public comments about the nominating contest, and a marked change in tone for a candidate who spent most of the last year brazenly promising he would win Iowa, which he lost by 30. And I still think that was probably the biggest mistake his campaign ever did. Promised a victory in Iowa. The Iowa or bust strategy doesn't work, especially when you're getting killed in South Carolina, New Hampshire, Nevada. It doesn't. Hell, you never had to say, I'm going to win Iowa. You could have just said, we are going to do good in the state. We are going to surprise everyone. He overpromised and underdelivered. That's his campaign in a nutshell. And a lot of people, They really thought he was going to stun the world and win Iowa. When he didn't, a lot of supporters are like, what the hell are we doing here? On Thursday, the conservative host Hugh Hewitt, which I really wouldn't call him conservative, but whatever, asked Mr. DeSantis if his campaign would survive through the end of March. The Florida governor replied that things were not necessarily going to plan. Look, my goal is to win the nomination. Had we won Iowa, we would have been in a good spot, Mr. DeSantis said, before suggesting there would be no point in staying in the race if it were to become clear that he could not win. I mean, does a campaign that think they have a chance say this crap? No! You don't say this if you don't realize it's over. But at this point, if you're saying this, why are you in the race? I don't want to be VP. I don't want to be in the cabinet. I don't want a TV show. I mean, this first part is just... This has always pissed me off about DeSantis. You're telling me you don't want to be the vice president. Your ego is that big that, oh, I have to be the president. I can't be second. If you're offered the vice president of the United States, do you understand, unless you screwed up, which you did, you would be the future, possibly the future president. I mean, this is just baffling to me. Mr. DeSantis' comments hint that a hard truth is setting in. The former president may be about to run away with the race, Mr. DeSantis is pulling so badly in New Hampshire, which votes on Tuesday, that he's spending the weekend campaigning in South Carolina, which holds his primary a month later, and where he thinks he has a better shot. In both states, he is trailing Nikki Haley, a former governor of South Carolina. I mean, this is pathetic. You're campaigning in South Carolina, which is a month away. You're not targeting New Hampshire, which votes in a couple days. Andrew Romeo, the DeSantis campaign's communications director, reiterated that Mr. DeSantis was in the race for the long haul, through South Carolina beyond. Oh, BS. That's bullcrap. That's BS. Stop it. Listen, I know you have to do your job and be the communications director and say, everything's fine. But when he's going on radio shows and saying, yeah, so, we're not looking good, Trump killed us in Iowa, and, yeah, not looking too good. That's not a good sign. That's not a sign the campaign is confident. His best hope of continuing to compete, his aides have said, is for Miss Haley to lose her home state on February 24th and drop out, leaving Mr. DeSantis with a one-on-one matchup against Trump. No one will be funding a bubble-wrapped candidate who can't win her home state, Mr. Romeo argued. Coming from the candidate who is down by, what? How much is DeSantis down in Florida? 40? 50? I mean, Trump's going to win South Carolina with 60% of the vote. And you're telling me that, oh, well, it's going to be a 1v1. If Trump is getting a majority, or hell, a super majority of votes, how the hell do you stop that? When most states after Super Tuesday, or actually on Super Tuesday, are winner-take-all states. That means Trump gets every single delegate. But Super Tuesday, when 16 states and territories vote on March 5th, is well set up for Mr. Trump to dominate. Polling shows even a two-person race against DeSantis. In that case, Mr. DeSantis may be looking at running again in 2028, the year after his term as governor ends. Which, you know, I don't know. I don't really think DeSantis can win the nomination now. I really don't. He's damaged goods. There's a lot of crap he said this year and did that made him, I think, not viable in a primary. His campaign was ran by morons, and they destroyed his political future with some of this crap like, yeah, let's focus on Trump being anti-gay marriage, and let's focus on wokeness. Or pro-gay marriage, I should say. And wokeness. I just don't see how this campaign comes back from this. I mean, they are trying to prepare a run for 28. That's what's happening here. But this is pathetic. You had it all. You could have waited 4 years and get advisors with 5 brain cells or more. And you could have been the nominee in 2020. You had it. All you had to do was support Trump. And guess what? The indictment stuff, you could have endorsed him in March and be done with it. You never had to run. You announced 3 months after the fact, and it went horribly. This is a lesson for many people to understand. Don't do this. Don't try to challenge a former president that 80% of the party still loves. I know he got 50%, but he has like a favorability of like 80 to 90%. Don't try to challenge him. Try to become the VP. But DeSantis doesn't want to be the VP for why? What reason? Because, I don't want to sit there for 4 years. If you're the VP, you're going to be the nominee in 2028 because the base will love you. But nope, you completely blew it. You had a golden opportunity that anyone with good political instincts would have taken immediately. They would have said, nope, we're not running. Just wait 4 years. I'm young enough. Then we can run. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.